didn't come up with a good plan in that game. So good start for you guys. You don't have to worry about Trump getting into chess tourneys, dude. We don't have to worry about. We don't have to worry about that. Unfortunately, there's no money in chess. So, yeah, I just became desperate though. My position is really bad in that line, and VFan varying now. He doesn't want to go into the dragon. Last game it was the dragon. Now he's changing up on me. Interesting. Here I have to be careful. I think like knight takes d7 is probably bad. I probably have to play this. And this is more or less like a check-over variation. Knight c3, cd, queen takes d4, and white is a tiny bit better. Gigi thinks f5 was not a good move. Yeah, I think there was a lot of bad moves. Black played the opening very poorly with knight h7, and I became like really overconfident. I started playing on both sides of the board basically, and I didn't really have a cohesive plan. So there's no excuse in a 10-minute game though. Early in the stream, and I'm blabbering here, talking, trying to keep it like upbeat and not concentrating enough on the game. But I tell you, I was off in the blitz games, in the warm-up games too. Knight takes d4. He doesn't take with the queen. It's interesting. Not to take with the queen here. I'm going to concentrate on developing my king side, and knight c6 when I have to, a6 maybe. I prefer to put my queen on c7 in this kind of position. Maybe like knight on b to d7. See, we have time for a6. I hope this reminds me a little bit of that game that I lost to Sophia Rogers last week. Slightly different position, but sort of the same piece configuration. Rook e1. It could almost transpose actually, but I'm not going to put my knight on c6. My plan here is to switch the position of my queen to c7 and probably play knight on b to d7. The knight is much more flexible on d7 in the Sicilian than it is on c6. Jennifer Shahadi's here. Thank God, Jennifer, you didn't see my last game. It was horrible. I'm ashamed. I lost all kinds of rating points today. We're down to 2430 in blitz. We were like 2470 when I started playing today, and we are losing in classical, obviously, too. I don't know how much I lost. We try not to care too much about the rating. Sophia Rogers, was she banned yet? No. I was angry, like, that I suspected her of using, like, opening assistance. But I'm not going to ban her from the chat. She also suggested a move while I was playing for me. And I don't like that because I don't need any help, you know? I mean, nobody should be offering like suggestions to improve my play while I'm on the move. So I told her not to do that anymore. But basically, no, I'm not going to ban anybody from chat unless they're like, you know, spouting racist rhetoric or insulting people. Even if I think you're using a computer, I'm still probably not going to ban you from chat. But I was a little bit angry, and you know, I just said I'm not gonna play them anymore. Like on the live stream, if I suspect that there's any kind of funny business going on with opening help, basically. So I'm in trouble here against VFan, who's playing well again. But I'm not sure. I have knight c5. It's a little hard for white to defend e4. And it protects... It looks like... This looks like a kind of Sicilian Sozin, basically. Sweat Life. Sophia Rogers' basic troll. She banned from Lee Chess. I don't know, guys. I don't know. You guys have your own dealings with different people, and you may have other experiences, but I'm going to judge people based on what I know. So, what's up, Spread Life? Are you trying to get banned too? We don't have too many people banned here. I'm pretty liberal with not banning people. I was really angry with the guy during my simul. He was like insulting me, so I banned him. But basically, I try to be as patient as I can with you guys. Here, VFant is on my e6 pawn now, playing this perfectly. I really don't want to lose to you again, VFant. Queen d7. What happens if queen d7? I mean, I defend my e6 pawn, but you still got to worry about the e4 pawn. So you're going to move your bishop somewhere, I guess. Maybe you say VFant. Starch solution. Why do you say trolling for Sophia? You mean trolling me like using like being a strong player? Not like trolling in the chat. So you mean trolling me like being a strong player and messing with my head or something? Bishop g5. Pretty good. No, VFant. You think I'm saying Hu Yifan? VFant is making my life difficult for the second day in a row here. But he's very, very short of time. VFant, your rating should be higher, man. I mean, you play awfully well to be 1800. So, I don't understand how you're not higher rated, dude. That's the second really good game you've played against me. I don't know what to do here. H6. H6 weakens my king side. Why can't I do H6 again? I think I can, actually. Oh, no. I had a horrible sensation just now, but it's okay. Guys, Sweat Life, what's up, man? You're kind of getting on my nerves, dude. So, I don't understand what you're talking about. Saying everybody's trolling. Trolling is someone trying to disturb the chat. Yeah, I think there are, I think trolling is one of those like modern words that's like kind of still not the jury's still really out on the use of trolling. I mean, language adapts, guys. Language adapts, so trolling can mean whatever the modern world wants it to mean, and it seems like people have, trolling didn't mean anything like 10 years ago. Trolling, it means things like, phishing, terminology, but finally I have an advantage here. I mean, it's like modern slang that's adapting, but I mean, trolling, I think there are a couple forms of trolling we can see. It would be trolling to like be a strong player and play me here and like kind of like tease me by beating me down on the stream while you're pretending to be a beginner. I guess that can be qualified as trolling, right? But conventional trolling is, yeah, like, just like constantly using bad language, like generally disrupting the stream, etc., etc., like that. And everybody's been kind of well behaved. Trolling is an internet definition, especially for chat and online interaction. Thank you, Starch Solution. It's modern internet slang, basically. But anyway, I'm not gonna like ban anybody from chat unless they're really bad, you know. Svedlife is trying to get banned now, but I'm still very patient. But I wish we could just concentrate on chess. So guys, VFant is finally in trouble. And I don't know, I mean, H4 kind of weakens your king side. Looks like we're going to go for it. I think we've got him. We've got mate. He was pretty tough this time. VFant, you handled the opening really well. Yesterday you got me in the dragon, and today, again, I'm uncomfortable with this line with black. So welcome everybody to the stream. If I didn't say it already, I'm International Master William Paschall. We are from Budapest, Hungary, originally from the United States. For those of you who just joined us, we're here every day from 10 to 12:30. At the moment, working on lead chess. We're playing as Sparklehorse, trying to avoid the trolls. You think trolling is lying? It's like that's a very, very broad definition of trolling. I mean, I think that trolling's getting to be like, it means everything. It's getting to the point where, like, you know, trolling is like anything. Like you're doing in a derogatory way in an online forum or something. But I think the definition is, I think Svedlife's definition is too wide. His definition of trolling is too wide. Anyway, you know, we need to narrow it down a little bit, or the word just doesn't really have a very effective meaning. But anyway, let's play some chess. What do we have here for challenges? You want to challenge me if you're new to the stream, make it Wernfeld, Will Wolf, Shaw, GG, all the usual suspects. You want to make it rated because I'm losing a lot of games today. So you really should like take advantage while I'm giving away all my rating points. And make it between like 5 and 12 minutes with a small increment. See, Will Wolf made the mistake of challenging me to casual chess, you know. And that's just like throwing away 12 rating points, or even more. Like, you win like 20 rating points plus, at least. Actually, I lost to a 2100, and I lost like 27 right off the top. Move the page up. Are you trolling me? If I move the page up anymore, it would be like the board would be off the screen. So are you telling me that I should move the page down? Is that a joke? So Will Wolf, interesting opening. Wernfold, a whole bunch of players challenging me. We lost a challenge somewhere. Shaw, GG. Wernfeld, we lost your challenge. Don't be insulted I didn't take your challenge right away. I thought I'd try something interesting here, but I'm thinking that this is maybe interesting. I don't know. This move I'm not so afraid of. A little bit concerned about c5 there at the last second. I have to calculate that I'm not walking some kind of trick here. Could play, I guess, e3. We could play a lot of things. We could play e4. This is almost like a Vienna variation. If you guys know the Queen's Gambit at all, it looks kind of like a Vienna variation with the piece configuration. But e3 would be a little safer than e4. I was going to play Queen a4 check, and then I thought, honestly, after c6 and Queen takes a4, first of all, I have to be really careful about b5. So I'm just gonna play e3. You know, in second glance, e3. Whenever someone mentions trolling, I think of like deep sea fishing. You know, we're trolling for bluefish. You guys ever been deep sea fishing for bluefish, striped bass? It's a really good time. Trolling, you know, is a fishing word. Okay, bishop e7. That's a very, very safe continuation, Will Wolf. Castles. I mean, I could try to castle opposite sides here, but it's a little crazy. I think white has a nice little plus. Yeah, I knew I was gonna get like hammered by the people from PETA or something for talking about fishing. Animal rights activists. You know, I'm not a gun-toting hunter or something, but I do enjoy a little bit of fishing now and then. Fish are friends, not food. So, you guys like animated movies? Sorry, Saji, was a bug by Lee Chess. I didn't go away. Okay. Sometimes you get hurt and you think that I'm not accepting your challenge. We need to laugh a little bit more here on the stream. Sometimes it gets too serious. So, Will Wolf playing uncharacteristically solid here in today's game. This looks like a c3 Sicilian reverse, like a really souped up. Yeah, there I missed a move. But I mean, maybe it's not a big deal. I mean, I could have played queen b3 and made you play rook back to f8. But, you know, in the end, my queen is like stupidly placed on b3. So I'm not really sure that like is profitable, you know, if we talk in poker terms. Plus EV, you know, to play queen b3 if I'm just going to have my queen on a stupid square in the end, where it's going to get hit by knight c5 a few moves later. I may end up like winning a move, you know, winning a move and then like losing a move back shortly. So that's why I didn't play queen b3. Knight f5, and we go for like a small edge with the bishop pair if we can get it. Yesterday, guys, on my YouTube channel, I put up a new game, Grandmaster Chess Lessons Part 2. It's a very kind of technical game, so it's not really for everybody. It's Kamsky with the two bishops and an ending. But he played well like recently in Capelle Le Grand. He won the tournament there. So I thought I'd do a Kamsky game as kind of like a tribute to his winning the Capelle tournament. Because Kamsky has been kind of quiet like the last year or two. And he had a not bad, but he didn't do much in the last U.S. Championship. This game I chose was from that. And I thought maybe he's on a little bit of a tour in Europe at the moment. He played in Gibraltar. He played in this tournament in Capelle. Now he's in what? I guess he's playing in Aeroflot. I think he's playing in Aeroflot. So Kamsky, though, he's such a good technical player. It's really hard to resist putting one of his games in my online library. Too much whining in the chat. There's just too much complaining. You're one of the people who's guilty, Sweat Life. You're accusing everybody of being trolls. Just enjoy. Just sit back and enjoy. Bishop f4. Now we're going to change direction on Will Wolf. This is what Kamsky did to Conrad Holt in the endgame that I analyzed yesterday for my YouTube channel. He just like mercilessly was all over the place with these two bishops and an ending. Principle of two weaknesses. Just brilliant player though. God has he has problems. He draws too many games, obviously, but last year he lost a key game in the U.S. Championship that kind of derailed his tournament. He lost to Wesley So in the U.S. Championship last year. I think that game really messed him up. So somehow like provoked Kamsky into playing like really aggressively against him, and And then he sort of Houdini'd his way out of it, and so beat him. But it's unusual that you can provoke Kamsky into like weakening his position and stuff. He just it looked like he had a really strong attack, but it wasn't obviously wasn't real ironclad. So now rook takes d7, and I'm getting like 2 pieces for a rook and pawn. The goes to Banquo, vitamin B12 and omega-3 fatty acids. What are you talking about? There's some real health benefits to certain meats. Oh, jeez. Yeah, now we're going to have like a vegan versus meat eater debate on my chat. This is ridiculous, guys. So here the problem is bishop takes f7 check. This was... You had g6 there, Will Wolf. I think you had g6 there. Vastly improving your position. Now I think it's lost without any doubt. Or maybe g6. But I don't know, Will Wolf, about this opening for you. It doesn't seem like you got the kind of position that... It doesn't seem like you got the kind of position that suits you. Now, Will Wolf is trolling me by adding time. But, what's up, dude? Let's play or resign, because we've got people waiting to play. So I'd appreciate if you'd either play or resign here. Thank you. So next game, we got Shansha, GG, pseudonym Bosch, Werenfeld. Okay, play Werenfeld and GG and Shansha. Save the really tough Shansha. Actually, GG held me to a draw yesterday in a good game. Jennifer Sade, I recommend eating only organic meats and veggies. Wouldn't it be nice, like, if we could only eat organic stuff? I only have time to go to the supermarket, you know? That's the problem for me. So, C takes d4. It must be nice to live in your world, Jennifer Shahadi. If only I had like a personal assistant to go shopping for me. Bishop g7. A few $1 million and a personal assistant. I'd be all set, you know. I mean, I'd easily make the GM title. And I would just kick ass in general. I'm going to go heat up some chicken nuggets. That's like where I'm at right now. Something fast, you know. That's... it would be great to have like... I like cooking, actually, guys, if we want to get really off the subject. Werenfeld, you're hanging a piece. I can't give takebacks. I'm not going to take it. I want this to be a good game, Werenfeld. I'm not going to take it. You're hanging a knight on d4. But I refuse to win a piece here. Make a good move. Transpose to a main line here. I would bathe it in juice if I were more practical. Bathe in juice. Yeah, I mean, I think avocado, an avocado cucumber bath sounds good. Non-processed food. Alright, guys. I gave Werenfeld a kind... I can't give him a take-back because my settings are such that I can't give him a take-back. So I just gave him a break. I didn't take his knight on d4. Werenfeld, you have to be more observant in this accelerated dragon about black putting pressure on the center with the knight and the bishop. So there's still a tactical threat in this position. Okay, I'm not going to give you any more like help. Do I have knight takes e4 now? Knight takes e4, knight takes c6, knight takes c3. I'm not that sure. Knight takes e4, knight takes c6, knight takes c3, knight takes e7 check. You know, that doesn't look really fun for me. So I don't think I have any tricks now. Feels like I should, though. That's strange. What would Alexander Wojtkiewicz do? Knight takes e4, knight takes c6. Wojtkiewicz would get a drink at the bar. And then come back to the board and beat the crap out of his opponent. But I'm just going to play d6 here. I don't see knight takes e4. If you guys want a repertoire that's based on fianchettoing your bishop, you should check out the games of Alexander Wojtkiewicz. My friend who passed away, God, it's been like 8 years ago now. He was a Polish grandmaster who lived in the United States, and some of you probably know him or knew of him. Jennifer definitely knew him. But he was a fantastic player in the dragon, modern defense type of positions, accelerated dragon, Catalan with white. Anytime I fianchetto my bishop, I think upon him. F4, knight takes e4. Now we've got queen b6, I guess, is the money move here. Still, this looks really strong now. But anytime you play the accelerated dragon, you've got all these traps, kind of arsenal of traps that white can fall into. So I think there, Werenfeld, I mean, first of all, generally speaking, you have a classical your classical dragon, basically. And the knight on d4, it should go to b3. It's unfortunate that we have to put it on b3, but if you study the theory of this line, you'll see all the top players put the knight on b3 because black has pressure along the long diagonal. There's a lot of discovered threats and whatnot. So I would play knight b3, and if not knight b3, then you have to at least play something like king to h1 before you play f4. You're making me hungry. Why? What did I talk about? Cucumber avocado bath? Just thinking, what would Jennifer Shahadi like? I had avocado for breakfast today. Very healthy. You guys think I just like kill poor little fish and eat their meat, but avocados are very good for you. So anyway, guys, Monday to Friday we're here 10 to 12:30, and that's Central European time. Sunday I'm doing a simul. We're going to start earlier this week at, what is it? It's 17:45 Central European time. That's 5:45 p.m. Last week I started at 6 on the simul. Okay, Werenfeld, I can't give you a break again. I tried once, but the other guys are going to kill me if I keep letting off the hook. Wojtkiewicz. Swedlife says he calls it murder. Yeah. It's been a long time since I went deep sea fishing, though. It was a sport I liked to participate in my previous life. Here in Hungary, we're a little bit landlocked. It's kind of a problem. It's hard to get your hands on the fresh ocean fish. Hungarians like fish soup with paprika. Spicy fish soup with paprika. How does that sound? So we're up a piece, guys. It is what it is. Try to finish Werenfeld off. I'm trolling you. What are you trolling me? Yeah, I know. It's okay. I like funny trolls. But I don't like when people use computer databases against me. Guys, I had a Blumenfeld this morning against a random guy, and tell me what you think. I'm not, going to name any names, but I knew that this was going to be a problem for me, Werenfeld. I knew it. I'm going to sack a pawn here. So, what do you think if somebody here has a blitz rating that's like 2,000, but their classical rating is like 2,350? Don't you think that's kind of odd? I mean, being that the difference in the time controls between like standard, classical, or whatever it is, and blitz is so small and flimsy. I mean, basically, like, it's a few seconds increment or a minute or two makes the difference between like classical and blitz. Like, I don't understand how someone can be rated like 2350 in standard and be 2050 in blitz. I mean, that to me is like a very big red flag that somebody is using like an engine or something. No, I mean, I don't understand how that's even possible unless like all your standard games were like 30 minutes or something like that. Then I could see it. Then I could see it definitely. So I guess you have to analyze how long the games are. Basically, this person is playing. What exact classical time control they're playing. It could be someone who's just really bad at blitz, but really strong, like a correspondence master who's weak at blitz chess. They just play more than yeah. I mean, you need a sample size. Goes to Banquo. I mean, I'm just I'm obviously implying that the sample size is large enough that it's statistically relevant. Statistics is the only form of mathematics I've really ever enjoyed, by the way. A lot of people ask you, when you're a chess player, they're always asking you, oh, you must be really good at math, You get that a lot, peoples? I get that a lot. I say, well, actually, I preferred English more when I went to university. Chess is different for everyone, and it's, there's a lot to it, but not just math. The common misconception is that chess is just about math. And we're blundering again, but it's okay. We're up a piece. You're up a piece, you got a lot of leeway. And Wehrenfeld coming on here. But Swedlife, you're talking about someone else. I was just talking about a random guy that I played in Blitz today. Nobody in particular that you guys know. 300 points difference is a lot. Considerable difference is possible. Yeah, I mean, definitely if it's really a long time control versus blitz. Here I am sitting here playing 7-minute classical and 5-minute blitz, and I mean, that makes almost no difference, honestly. There is almost literally no difference between those two time controls. If you're talking about a difference of 30 minutes and 5 minutes, obviously there's a huge difference. So A4. Up a piece. I think bishop c4 there, Wehrenfeld, was like a sort of try. I would play king h8, and probably white doesn't have much. Bishop b5, trading pieces. Generally speaking, we don't trade pieces when we're up. I mean, that is down material. So guys, what's up? I didn't notice the results of Aeroflat. Anybody see the Aeroflat Open yesterday? Any major upsets? Gelfand is playing board 1 in that. Rarely does Gelfand play. I can't even recall him playing an Open tournament, come to think of it. Geez, when did Gelfand play an Open tournament? It's really not like Ivanchuk or someone who plays them all the time. Gelfand, I think, in a tournament like the Aeroflat Open, he's kind of like Kamsky. He's a little too solid to win a huge field Open very easily. It's usually the more aggressive, wilder style players who have a better chance of winning these big Open tournaments. That's the Nakamuras of the world, who are willing to take a lot of risks. The Kamskys and the Gelfands, They don't really win Swiss tournaments. If you guys check out Kamsky's results in Gibraltar, he drew with everybody. I mean, and but he managed to win in Capelle Le Grand. I didn't see the games yet. I wanna check it out. How Gata won Capelle. They said it was impressive. He played impressively, is what I heard. But I mean, it's no mean achievement for Gata to win a major Open tournament with his style as solid as it is. You have to win a lot of games in that kind of tournament. Refuse to look at Aeroflot. The company still bills me for a flight I never took. Yeah, yeah, Aeroflot. Aeroflot, I remember when Aeroflot was still a smoking airline. That's funny. It was probably like one of the last smoking airlines in the world. I mean, they probably still exist in some very obscure locations, but one of the last major smoking airlines. F takes E6. Werenfeld is not going to give up. So guys, feel free to challenge me. Taking on all comers here. Giving away rating points. Werenfeld didn't ask for a rated game. Probably was wise. Although most of you guys might be in for a Christmas bonus if you do decide to play me a rated game today. It looks like I'm kind of in shaky form. And threatening to mate me, Werenfeld. Not very nice. Werenfeld with a sneaky mate there, G5 and Rook H7. He doesn't give up. He's still trying to get me. Still trying to get me. I'm not going to let you get mate, man. You can give up. Against Kamsky, I resigned when I lost the pawn. I know I've probably told you guys that story already. But everyone was shocked. It was just like a Sicilian middle game with all the pieces on the board. And I just resigned, you know. Even like the GMs were surprised. So, but Kamsky is Kamsky. His technique is so good. It's just like, if it was a little bit complicated, I wouldn't resign. But if it's relatively clear and Kamsky's up a pawn, just resign, man. So, Shah and Shah is next. And then Honorary Citizen, number 1, DST, and I think Pseudonymous Bosch was in there first. So we'll do Pseudonymous Bosch probably up next. By the way, what is the alias you play under your ICC account? Mr. Serious. Alias Mr. Serious. For years I've had that account. I wouldn't, yeah. It's for forever. It was Mr. Serious on ICC. Shan Shah, good luck. I haven't played King's Indian against you lately. Not sure I remember what you play. Oh, okay. So, same-ish King's Indian. Interesting. Guys, I think I need to get back to studying my openings. Oh, I remember you did this before. 92 or something weird? Interesting move order. Where did you pick that up, Shan Shah? You played against me 92 before, I believe. Okay, maybe it was Queen D2. And I don't see why I can't sack a pawn here, just like in the normal move order. I don't know the Sicilian, but I don't know how to do a great game. I really don't know how to do a great game. Sicilian is a tough opening, Werenfeld. But you might want to try like a more simplistic setup for white, not involving D4. You can play a different kind of position. Does playing chess make you smarter? I think it does. I know that's like a kind of cliche in a lot of programs for teaching kids chess and stuff, but I think it really probably does make you smarter. My mom says the older she gets, the less she knows. But if she played chess, that probably might not be the case. I haven't been playing chess enough, that's why I'm getting dumber. If I played more now, you know, hopefully I'll be getting smarter again. No, but seriously, I think that any mental game like chess is gonna make you smarter, make you sharper. I wouldn't be surprised if it like delays the onset of things like Alzheimer's. They've probably done studies of stuff like that. Didn't you already play what Werenfeld? Let him win? What are you guys talking about? Fled from nowhere? No. Who are you guys talking about? Let him win. Anyway, everyone, welcome to my stream. International Master William Paschall. We're playing from Budapest, Hungary. And don't forget to check out my YouTube channel. Please subscribe and like at Video Chess Training on YouTube. Trying to get it started over there. New video yesterday. We're probably going to put up a new video today and again tomorrow. And I also upload the streams that we do here. So if you're watching a stream and you want to see the completion of it, you had to go or something, you can go to my YouTube channel. The info is on the Twitch info under the Twitch stream. So also you can email me if you have any questions. It's videochesstrainer@gmail.com. That's also listed here on Twitch. On Lichess, you see I'm Sparklehorse. We're doing a simul on Sundays. Sunday, 5:45 CET. Okay, interesting point now. Bishop on d3. Shan Shah, I've been playing this position for many, many years for both sides. I also play the same as King's Indian with white, but usually I prefer to play this with bishop on g5. But the structure is basically the same. I mean, the piece configuration is basically the same. Generally speaking, I don't really like the bishop on d3, and I've had bad results and good results when I'm black against people who put the bishop on d3. I think that you should play like knight on g to e2 and knight this to g3, sometimes knight c1, and put the bishop on e2 in general. Just a kind of tip. The bishop on d3 tends to kind of get in the way and oftentimes is a liability on d3. I want to see what you were saying in our game. Oh, okay, Grinch, you didn't listen to the stream while we were playing. You can also check them out on Twitch directly, though. If you guys go to my video profile, my videos, they do keep the videos on Twitch, my live streams, for a week or so. But I like to keep them on YouTube. I'll try to keep them on YouTube for at least a month. So bishop on d3. There's nothing really concrete I can do about it. It's in fact not such a great piece, but it's a convenient option where I might take it in some positions. I might play c4. It does just kind of get in the way, and on e2 the bishop oftentimes is more useful. It has this diagonal where you can play f4 and hit things on at g4 and protects g4 and h5. So I recommend white play a setup based on bishop e2, not with the bishop on d3. Need a drink after all that chattering. Generally what I've been doing lately in these kind of positions is looking for ways to play with black, looking for ways to play b5. Even if that means maybe sacrificing a pawn. You can oftentimes black can sack a pawn with b5 and have active play along the b file, like in the Benko gambit. Grinch, I agree. It seems unfair. Thank you for being a good sport. Yeah, I mean, I think you get more out of it if you think for yourself. I think it's kind of like too many cooks spoil the soup. If I play a game like a game where I'm working together with another player and we're talking about the game, oftentimes it actually hurts the other player. It's better to have your own ideas kind of clear in your own head. And when you start hearing someone else talking while you're playing, it can be very disruptive. Even if it's a strong player, it's better to have your own thoughts just kind of like clearly in your head, not have these other ideas interfering with your thought process. And I wholeheartedly agree that, you know, it's probably better you don't listen to the stream while you play. What's up, guys? Jennifer Shahadi, anyone have any funny chess tournament collector of funny chess tournament stories? I don't have any recent ones, and I've already told you guys a couple of my best ones. But I would welcome the other viewers to share their funny chess stories here with us, while I concentrate on this tough game against Shan Shah. Yeah, my experience with black in these lines is that oftentimes black tries to play actively on the king side, like knight h5 and f5. But it's a very double-edged procedure when you're playing f5 in this kind of variation, in the same-ish. let's face it, white has a very strong pawn chain, h2, g2, f3, d4, e4, d5. And when you have the structure for black, this Benoni type of structure, I mean, you are going up against basically a stronger pawn chain, so a lot of players just kind of fall flat on their face when they try to play like knight h5 and f5. It's kind of an uphill battle, so I've been exploring other options for black, you know, trying to play more like on the queen side in this type of position. So, I mean, b5 would be like a main candidate move now. a5, always debatable. You know, do you want to play a5 and let me play b5? Here, I'm going to try it. He took instantly. He was anticipating that. So one question when you find yourself playing white in this kind of structure, you know, do you want to just restrain me, or do you want to play a5 and let me play b5? Rook b1 now, and threatening the very, very powerful break b4 for white. So that's a huge kind of key idea. And we have a couple of options here. I can play queen b4 or a5, and I think both of them seem like adequate for black. a5, queen b4. Maybe not adequate. I'll be hanging my pawn on a6 if I play that. So we can afford to even sack a pawn like in Benko type of style positions. No stories for me. I only play on the internet, said Grinch. I played a guy. Okay. Next story. That's not a story, you know. So I was thinking, what happened to Aeroflot games I saw? Oh, does anybody understand what happened with Wei Yi? The guy like lost. This one Chinese Grandmaster on one of the top boards in Aeroflot, but I had the feeling it was like a phone forfeit because the game I saw was like a miniature where nothing happened. Actually, it's a really weird game that I don't understand. If anyone saw this, there's this Adorian set up for black where black plays like g6, knight f6, and then e5. It's a kind of famous Adorian idea. And recently I saw some strong player play it with white, like Yakovenko or somebody, and just like be totally lost after 15 moves or something. And then Potkin did it yesterday against this Chinese Grandmaster, but the Chinese Grandmaster mysteriously lost in 10 moves. I didn't understand. Does anybody know what happened there? Because I don't understand. I didn't, you know, really follow the Aeroflot website or anything, but I had the feeling it was one of those phone forfeit situations that do crop up from time to time. Shansha, knight f4 now. I think not an unusual square, but I'm not really sure what your plan is here. Knight on f4, this particular position, I'm not sure what you're doing. Wei Yi game seemed legit. Well, it was like 10 moves, wasn't it? What was legit about that? I must have like, okay, I must have just gone through the game and like my computer froze or lost my internet or something. I had the feeling the game was 10 moves and that was the end of the game. Okay, so I just have to go back and check it out again because I didn't see all the moves. Okay, so it was legit. But I don't understand, the variation looks horrible for white. From what I looked at with the computer engine, it's just totally unsound. I don't know why Potkin would do it again. What's your fastest win, Slaggy? Fastest wins. I don't really have like fast wins. I have fast losses, where like I lost once in like 8 moves. I don't really have fast wins. I don't remember, you know. I tend to focus more on the bad results than the good results. H4 Shansha, I don't think that's like a good idea. But then again, what can I do here? I just have to slowly improve my position, but white doesn't have any real attacking chances in this position. I will tell you a story. I was playing 15, 16-year-old kid who was higher rated than me in an opening. This is up-and-comer opening I wasn't too familiar with. I ended up playing badly, and then a nice tactic let him force a queen in 3 or 4 moves. He smirked at me, reached over, grabbed the queen, started spinning in his hand and tapping it on the table. While waiting for me to move, I ignored it and played till I couldn't anymore. I have a lot of issues with people like, you know, having foot wars under the table. 3 or 4 incidents with that. Yeah, I had an opponent on Sunday who was a young Hungarian player who was kind of annoying. He stood like during the game when it was my move, he stood around the side behind me, like looking at the board, you know. And the boy has kind of a crazy father, and I think he was kind of trained to do this, like to annoy his opponents or something. In the past, it would have really bothered me, but I'm like more mellow now, so I just kind of ignored him. But it's generally not really good etiquette to like stand behind your opponent and look at the board from his side. I mean, I would think like Kasparov would like kill you if you did something like that while you were playing with him. The other thing is eating at the board, which I think is pretty bad etiquette. Little kids have a tendency to, you know, have like 100 chocolate bars and just eat like pigs at the chessboard, like they were playing ping pong. I don't know, you know, it's things just don't bother me anymore. But when I was very serious, I would have made a protest about it. At least give them a dirty look or something, you know. But now I'm not that. I'm just kind of enjoying life and not going to get angry at a little kid for eating at the board. I'm just angry at his parents for not teaching him, like, you know, basic etiquette of playing in a chess tournament. Here I can get your bishop pair. Don't know if I want it now. Shah and Shah, you've got the bishop on e2. And you can play bishop d1 to hit my pawn on a4 if I play a4. Though a4 feels like a good idea. You've got knight d3 simplifying. You're going to trade my guy anyway. I'm going to play knight c4. Liberian. What happened, Liberian? I didn't see Liberian. You typed Liberian 2, LOL. I played a 2200 when he used the Colorado. What is the Colorado Gambit? And I was scared of him, so I declined it. What the heck is the Colorado Gambit? It sounds like something Brian Wall invented. Is that like the fishing pole? I used to checkmate myself when my opponents missed 3 mates, and I would show them it and resign. That's original. That is original. So now, you got me to trade that. You got me to trade the strong knight on e5, Shah and Shah. I think that's an achievement positionally for you. And my d6 pawn's a little weak, so we're gonna play knight e8. Kind of shore up my e5 square, shore up my d6. Hope my queen doesn't get trapped in around here, but got a very powerful long bishop. And knight e8 is not the most aggressive move, but we do have plans. I mean, sometimes in the Benoni, knight b5 is a common idea. Shah and Shah, you got me trapped kind of here. Okay. I guess I have to play this. Okay. XTS says, do you have any tips for improving as a beginner? My usual spiel is that you need to play and study at the same time. So you're already online on Lichess, and I recommend you get some chess books, or, you know, the online equivalent of chess books, and try to combine playing online or at a chess club with studying. Shansha, good defense here. Good defense, man. You are hanging on. And not really sure. Looks like you should have tried something here a little more active. Now, Knight on c7 keeps pressure on d5. I'm going to go back. Maybe I could play queen b6 now. It's feeling a little rickety for black, my structure with the d6, c5. But I'm kind of holding it together. The Colorado Gambit, e4, knight c6, knight f3, e4, knight c6, knight f3, f5. Oh. It's kind of like the Shirazi. How did Shirazi do that? e4, f5. What is e4, f5? Pawn takes f5, d5. That's like the Fred or something. What am I doing here? Time is getting to be a problem. I don't really like my rook on the same diagonal with the bishop on f4. So, a little passive by me, rook e8. I also don't like white playing e5 at some point. Trying to discourage him from playing e5. Yeah, you should use I recommend like the old school method of using a real chessboard. Definitely. You know what, guys? The internet is fine and great, but I think it still helps to use like a real chessboard when you're playing. So now Shahanshah is after my pawn, and we should have some counterplay. A4 maybe. Don't have time for it. Definitely losing a pawn here, looks like. So keeping me busy with the chatter has been successful in these 10-minute games. We wanted to sack a pawn like Benko style, so now we did it. But Shahanshah is better now. He finally rounds up my a pawn, and we have some chances though. I mean, c4, maybe I'm okay here because of c4 type of ideas. c4, rook takes a5, and I have a dangerous passed pawn after c4. Bishop takes pawn. So now I need to be thinking about being a pawn down here is pretty nasty. Rook c8, I guess. This is a tough position, but got rook b7 there. So bishop b5 is not so great. Very, very tough game, Shahanshah. I thought I was better out of the opening, but you played structurally very well. You got my weak point on d6, and I'm not sure if this passed pawn is enough compensation for the sacrificed pawn. You got no tournament. You got a tournament today, but no money to enter. I suggest a GoFundMe page. Man, what am I doing here? Okay, I have one idea. Yeah, I've got to get active. So bishop b5. This is my only chance. White has to be careful now. His passed pawn, it kind of classic like Grunfeld type of thing. Where he has this passed d pawn, I have the passed outside pawn. E6, got to take that, and then I guess we play bishop d3. Looks like pretty horrendous for me. Bishop f6. Bishop f5 is not going to cut it there. Shanshan, didn't you have rook check first in that position? What about c2 here? Doesn't work. Okay, this is degenerated to just absurd blitz game. So I think that we both I think it's safe to say we both had better moves in this game. Pretty horrible, like, last 15 moves by both sides. Thanks, Shansha. I think we both needed more time there. We've got... What? Wolf, you're kind of spamming the channel again. And let's not discuss Donald Trump on my channel. GG, you're up next. Pseudonymous Bosch. I don't know. Maybe you were in front of GG, but I'm not going to forget your challenge. Fled from Nowhere says, stop the bigotry, please. Mia, where is their bigotry? The male version of Miley Cyrus? Is that bigotry, or... Trump is the old version of Justin Bieber. I think we're being a little overly sensitive there. But I don't really want it to turn into a juvenile, like, pop chat, so... Fled from Nowhere. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really see a lot of bigotry, but I don't want to be a babysitter and have to, like, nitpick through what you guys say. Queen a4 check. If anyone says anything really bad, I will ban them, but it's up to my discretion. Queen a4 check. Knight c6, e3. This is fun, Gigi. I'm glad you played this line. I like this a lot, and virtually nobody has played the Rogozin variation from the people that I've played in the stream. So I really enjoy it, playing this line for white. But don't spam the channel, guys. Then I'll have to, like, restrict your chat rights. So try to take a breath before you type in your next comment. B takes c3, but GG, I don't like this exchange. I had this against someone, like, last week. And you don't want to... Maybe it was you? I thought it was someone else for some reason. It was a different player, but you don't want to exchange unprovoked on c3 in this line. You want to keep the bishop on b4. It kind of keeps me tied down. Actually, it forces me to play bishop d2 normally, which is a very passive move. Espresso Forever says, I need to learn this line. For black or for white? Welcome to the channel, Espresso Forever. GG needs to not exchange because white has to play bishop d2 in this line, and it's not a great square. It's almost like a tempo loss for white. It's such a passive square for the bishop on d2. GG said it was not me. Okay, so it wasn't him. I played the same position with somebody else recently, but I think that player in the aforementioned game was actually not castled, and in that case it was even worse because I had, like, bishop a3 paralyzing their king in the center. I'm not really sure how that would occur. Well, I know what it was. So they took on c3, then they did something like bishop d7 instead of castling. So GG at least has the sense to castle before bishop a3 comes, which is definitely a good idea. So now it's like a Nimzo Indian where black played d5 and knight c6. And no need to learn King's Indian. No, you need to learn King's Indian attack, Espresso. Then become a GM. Like Vladimir Kramnik. Though Kramnik, you know, not really playing King's Indian attack per se. I don't like the d4 opening. I need to progress with black, said GG. Well, it's important anytime you play a Nimzo Indian with bishop b4 that you don't trade your bishop on c3. Wilwolf said a funny story. Chess is the only game that accurately reflects the status of the husband and wife. Oh boy, this is gonna like set off the this is gonna set off the people with the political correctness. But the poor king can only take one step while the queen can do whatever she wants. I have a feeling you didn't make that up, Wilwolf. V6. No comments. I'm not overly politically correctness, but there is a kind of limit. I don't think that's. I think that's a good joke. Well, fair enough. Yeah, sexist. Oh, ban him. People have to have a little bit of tolerance. So, b6. I guess we exchange on d5. I mean, we just can't sit here forever, and yeah, we don't tolerate any real sexism or racism here. But it's all in good fun. E takes d5. It's a Nimzo. It's a Nimzo, GG. You need to trade the white squared bishop if you could for my bishop on d3. But I don't know if you want to do a5. It's kind of extreme. You create a lot of weaknesses in your position with that kind of thing. So bishop d3. Good Nimzo for white. Although c2 isn't really like a great square for the white queen typically in this line, it does actually come in handy because oftentimes in sort of these Nimzo lines, bishop g4 and the knight gets pinned uncomfortably. So in this position I don't have to worry about that. Now he goes ahead and does what I said with a5. And I may just have to let him like trade my white squared bishop, because I just don't really see a reasonable way to avoid it. And he weakened his position pretty significantly to achieve that. So, I mean, knight g5 doesn't look like it does much. It's worth considering knight g5. I don't see I'm going to avoid the exchange of bishops in the long term, though. I could play bishop a3 and like c4 or something like that. This is a blitz game. So I'm just going to let him trade the bishop off and see if I can get some kind of like other positional advantages. Up and Comer says queen e2, but the problem is with the bishop g4 becomes really annoying on the other side. So there is no like really easy solution here. I'm looking for the C file, basically. I'm settling for that. I think this badly placed rook on a6 and the badly placed knight on c6 and bishop a3 keeps his knight off of b4. We solved our bad bishop problem as well, and we got really good play down the C file. How come the pitchforks are coming out? Now, knight b4, you're ready to support it with c5, I guess. Yeah, c5 could be a problem. This is a tricky position. Let's try rook c1. But I think GG, you did really well here. I mean, to take a position that looked extremely dubious and to make it look fully playable is not really easy to do. Well, I think you did maybe lose a pawn now, if I'm not mistaken. Still not a simple position, only up a pawn, and it's relatively simplified, so I'd imagine that black has some chances to draw. What would you guess my playing strength? Shah and Shah, what would you guess your playing strength is? Swedlife says 2600. Never seen you play. I'm not great at chess. That's a problem. What's up with this position now? Queen takes c5. Well, insta take by GG. And b3. I kind of missed that. a4. Whew. I don't know, guys. We could be in trouble here. GG also has to watch the back rank, as I do. So, nice fight, GG. GG, you're playing good, man. You're really playing good. Now, that position, I thought you had me. Maybe you should play b2 right away. But maybe you still have me, I don't know. But both of us need to watch the back rank, basically. This wouldn't be the first game I lost today due to a passed B pawn. Now, knight e4. We have tactic, don't we? Rook takes b2. No, 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 no. Okay, so we're up a pawn. It's not really looking very easy to convert this. This is what I meant earlier by, you know, not so easy to win it. Okay, GG. No mercy. No mercy now. Man. There, I think that was a mistake. You had rook a2 with really active play. I think after rook a2, you're probably virtually okay. I don't know about this ending. I guess it's a draw now. Why is somebody calling me now? GG, you could have taken on d4 there. It's like the perfect time for someone to call, you know? When I have like 3 seconds left. Who would dare to call me when I have 3 seconds left in my game? How dare you? What am I going to do? Answer it? And I guess king up, knight g5 type of stuff. Now be careful about the pre-moving. Not really sure how to make progress here. How do I make progress here? What? Draw by repetition. Oh no. I can't believe it was a draw by repetition. I didn't mean it. I don't know who was calling me, but it's not important. So, you snuck in a draw by repetition. Okay, couple challengers. We lost the guy who was challenging us, who I was not playing. He went away. Pseudo somebody. Pseudo, come back if you still want to play. I meant to play you. What is it? Sean Shaw, I'd say you're somewhere between 3-year-old niece and my retarded Aunt Kathy. Now, that's not nice. No, Sean Shaw, I think that you're like, I would say like 2,000. Above 2,000. Definitely. Honorary citizen and number 1. I don't know which one of you guys was first. We definitely lost the challenger, though. Are you here in the stream, Lost Challenger? There was a Lost Challenger with a weird name, who I can't remember. Pseudo something, I think. If you're here, like, send me the challenge back. The Ghost of Banquo. Wait, I'm still challenging? Are you serious? What is the proper technique for both sides? Does black want to take off a set of rooks? Not in that position, I don't think so. We probably don't want to take a set of rooks off there. The 3 against 2 is a draw with knights in most cases. You definitely want to keep the rooks on. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. Can I make a suggestion? Why just tuning into your stream? It's hard to know what time control you're playing right now. You moved your webcam picture. Yeah. That's a true point. Is it? Yeah, it's true. You don't know the increment. Good point there. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. I didn't think about that. We can do that. Can move it down, but then you guys will miss something on the chat. You guys can't see the chat. Let's see. We'll move it down just a little bit. So you guys can see the time control now. Thank you, coulda, shoulda, woulda, for a very sensible suggestion. Yeah, it was Pseudonymous Bosch. It's an art joke. Is that you, Pseudonymous Bosch? Then you unchallenged me? Come back, man. I was going to play you next. Actually, I should have probably played you before Gigi, but in all the chaos and confusion, sometimes I forget. I'm a little bit bored with playing Bishop G5 against the King's Indian, and I'm going to start playing like more fianchetto setups. This is something I used to play years ago. The bottom right, maybe. I feel like the picture should be up high, you know. Down below, I feel like, you know, really, really unimportant. G3, Bishop G2, and the lines that I have the most trouble with are like Knight C6 lines. That's you. Okay. Let's stay. Okay, Banquo. No, I didn't mean to like ignore your challenge. Always somebody gets neglected. Knight on B to D7. Castles. I've played almost every line for black against the G3 fianchetto. So, Sean Shaw says there's currently less challenges to Sparkle. There's pretty many challenges. There was one day this week, Monday, when there wasn't many challenges, but yesterday and today we've had a lot of challengers. Knight E4 instead of B2 was winning, but it didn't. You didn't see it. I thought you had B2. GG. C6. Now, sometimes C6 in this type of position will cause you to have weak square at D6. If I can stutter enough there. But you could try a different kind of weird setup, maybe. I don't know what your plan is here. But having said that, wow, Knight H5 right away. That's pretty unusual. You're inducing me. Number one is inducing me to play G4, which I would think isn't a bad move. Generally speaking, I don't recommend playing a real early Knight H5 like that. When you don't really have you haven't staked a claim to the center, I wouldn't recommend maneuvering a knight away from the center. Basically, you need a solid center control and you need kind of a solid strong point. And usually you need the position to be kind of closed to get away with something like Knight H5. Here there's a lot of tension in the position, so Knight B6 also kind of a suspect square for a knight. Got tons of comments to get to. That's why it's so hard to play. There's so much chatter going on. Hieronymus, thank you. How about a customized board with your live stream face in each square? Yeah, I'm so in love with myself. It's actually an obscure Dostoevsky joke. Okay. I didn't read enough Dostoevsky. I have read some. I'm not completely, like, uncultured, but the stuff of nightmares, Jennifer Shahadi. I agree, Calidus. Stockfish said 94 was the move. Okay. Yeah, you might have had more than one win. I wasn't sure exactly which position you were talking about, though. There was one position where I was sure that B2 was the best move. But you may have had 94 at one point. Olaf from Eduardo Abrigo. Or Eduardas. No, Eduardo Abrigo. Hola, man. ¿Cómo estás? How are you? F5. This is pretty brave, my friend. Pretty brave. This is not the Dutch defense. And we're going to take. We have pressure along the E line. This knight on H5 is real sketchy. So I kept my queen on this diagonal on purpose. Because we want to punish that knight. And so we've got knight e6, knight g5 here, and knight e6. Very serious weaknesses on the white squares. Black has an alternative to knight f6. He could play queen e8. He or she could play queen e8 in this position. Kind of classic Dutch maneuvers. So knight g5 threatening knight e6, as well as queen takes h5. What is this? Have you read Diary of a Writer? The Adolescent is probably my favorite work. I like Crime and Punishment. But I've only read maybe 2 Dostoevsky books. Kind of tough reading, really. I'm more into kind of cult horror at the moment. Classics just too tiring. Knight g5. And come on, number 1, you got queen e8 or knight f6. Lots of choices. Knight takes g3. That's a little too much. That's very creative. Very creative, but it's too much to ask the position. 2 pawns for a piece. Interesting, though. Interesting. You get a gold star for creativity. I didn't even think of that, but not even Magnus Carlsen could see this. Could see this through. ATK Bruce the Spruce. What? Have you read Diary of a Writer? Blah, blah, blah. Okay, you guys are having a Dostoevsky conversation there. Very good. It's nice to have a little bit, like, more than Justin Bieber in the channel, you know? Let's do Dostoevsky. Let's like, not do Justin Bieber and Miley Cyrus. Dostoevsky, I prefer. Something a little bit deeper than pop culture. I'm honored, you know? I feel like you guys you're improving the culture in my channel, and I do appreciate it. Bill might like the gambler given his poker past. And free piece. I have read a little bit of Russian novels like Solzhenitsyn and anyway, I like stories about like Russian gulag and like really depressing things. VFant, you already had a game. IO pseudonym Bosch a game. Whoop! Will Wolf, what did I do? I clicked on your name. I was afraid I clicked the wrong challenge. Where are my challenges? Pseudonymous Bosch. I just appreciate the Dostoevsky reference. Okay. Sicilian, hello. Good game. Nabokov. Yes, Nabokov I've read. And I like it. For the most part. There is the chess novel by Nabokov. Okay. We definitely prefer classics to pop culture here in the Sludgy channel, but poker and chess will do as well. Knight c6, bishop c4, another great opening we haven't had lately. Like, very little theoretically going on in the Lee Chess stream. We had, at least Gigi tried to play something theoretical. He tried to play the Rogozin, but then he played bishop takes c3, and then still I didn't win. But Gigi defended well. Got rid of that bad bishop. And got more counterplay than I really expected there. I'm having a rough day today, guys. You guys are getting, maybe you guys are just getting better from all this Sparklehorse chess streaming. Is that a PokerStars shirt? Wish it was still legal. You don't wish it was still legal in the US, man. PokerStars is... I'm not promoting it. I just like the shirt. It's very soft cotton, and I'm just not going to throw it in the trash because I hate PokerStars. A lot of people are like, yeah, man, I wish that I still had PokerStars. Dude, they ruined PokerStars. PokerStars is just about, like, there's going to be PokerStars in the United States, too. It's coming to New Jersey. But PokerStars is, like, all about gambling, not about poker anymore. So I knew it was a bad sign when they started to create a casino and sportsbook, and now it's like spin and goes, and screw the VIP program, no monthly free rolls, destroy the Battle of the Planets. Like, I mean, everything is just ruined in PokerStars. So that's why I'm wearing my PokerStars shirt here, in memory of the former PokerStars, the great site that it once was. So knight b3 now. Knight takes e4. Anybody? Knight takes e4. Bishop takes e7. Knight takes c3. Bishop takes d8. Da 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 da. Why can't I do that? A lot of active moves. You know, bishop g5, bishop c4. But it seems like, you know, that's the kind of recipe for disaster sometimes. Trying to play too many active moves on different sides of the board. Mixing too many systems, we would say, like bishop g5, bishop c4. And f3 is the final move that is over the top. Could I have played knight takes e4 last move? Well, my king was in the center, so it's a little bit different. Party Poker's like makes PokerStars look like a great site. I played a sit and go on Party Poker the other day. It was a supposed turbo. I mean, I haven't played in like a year in a single tournament. I never play on Party Poker at all, but just out of sheer boredom, I thought, let's see what a sit and go is like on Party Poker, and it was like unbelievable. We played 20 hands, everyone was getting blinded out, and it was worse than a hyper turbo on PokerStars. Just they want to just generate rake and take people's money, and no, the online poker scene is just, it's dead, man. I mean, for a few pros, you can make money, but compared to the way it was, it's just really sad. Win a clear pawn, trade the queens. I should have played queen e5 check and taken on b2, actually. But we'll give you a break. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely not supporting PokerStars. It's just a shirt. Not real happy with PokerStars. Thought about burning it, but it's just too comfortable. Anyone here know some Russian? You know, years ago, Party Poker was the best site, you know, 10, 15 years ago, or whenever it was. Not 15, but I mean like 12 years ago. But I think online poker is in trouble. If you have to play online poker, I guess I would recommend iPoker if you insist on playing online poker. Nothing is great anywhere. I don't know. For some reason, I'm not allowed to make an account on 888 Poker because I'm in Hungary and they're not accepting new Hungarian accounts. But some people like 888 Poker. It's probably okay as well. But I definitely not supporting PokerStars. Just a shirt. So C3. I was a supernova on PokerStars and did used to pay $20,000 in rake a year at one point, but I feel betrayed. I feel that the new ownership of PokerStars doesn't care about the players at all. So it's just about making money for them, just taking people's money. It's not a good scene. It's like most businesses. Just becomes about the corporate machine. So can you rap us? Can you rap for us in Hungarian? I can't rap at all. I'm just totally horrific at rapping. That's a funny request. I love that. I would just be too embarrassed to even try. I don't think I'd rap in Hungarian for my best friend. Maybe if I was drunk. Everything's about making money. I guess I've been to a few casinos, Chess Player 3, and European casinos in particular are bad. They just understand nothing about marketing. But if you want to make money, you have to give a little bit back to the customer. And at least like American casinos have some sort of sense of that. The problem with PokerStars, they're not giving anything back to the players anymore. And that's bad. That's bad business. They're gonna lose their business entirely. You mark my words. It will go under more or less if it continues down the path it's going. So, well, it's one thing to be greedy, but it's another thing to destroy your business by being overly greedy. I understand it's about making money, but it doesn't make sense to destroy one's own business with too much greed. We have to give a little bit back if you want to have a successful business. The casino in Atlantic City are going belly up. Yeah, well, that's something that's probably been happening for the last 50 years, gradually. I'm from New Jersey, so I know a little bit about Atlantic City. Atlantic City, not a good place to have a chess tournament, in my opinion. I'm probably like the greatest chess player ever from South Jersey, by the way, whatever that's worth. It's mostly, it was farm country 100 years ago, but Atlantic City I still consider in South Jersey. Some New Yorkers would probably argue otherwise, but geographically, it's definitely still part of South Jersey. I'm Hungarian only by transplant. Okay, what's going on? Nash Equilibrium, GM Will, VFant, Smeagol. Let's go. GM Wolf, you played me already. Let's play Nash Equilibrium. Sean Shaw, I do puzzles. What are you guys talking about? Atlantic City has the best prostitutes. You haven't been to Europe, have you, Chess Player 3? Have you been to Europe lately? E6. Focus when playing. I need to focus when playing, guys. I've kind of struggled today. Goes to Banquo, fell to tactic. Well, the knight takes e4 is a classic move. Now here, knight c3, kind of an unusual move order. I'm going to avoid the temptation to play d5 and play my comfort zone here with d6. And if you're not going to try to play the Velimirovich attack, then I'm going to just play bishop b7 and castle kingside. I did do a video about the Fischer-Sozin variation for my video chess training channel. Giving myself a little plug for video chess training channel, which started Got about 12 or 13 videos other than live streams now. Check it out on YouTube. F3. Now, did you play this against me, Nash Equilibrium? Somebody else did this recently. F3 is solid, but you have no real forward plan when you do F3. I think F4 is more or less kind of forced. If you want to ever open up the king side. I guess theoretically you could play like King H1 and G4. Interesting. So Queen E1 and okay. Wonder if I should play D5 at some point. I think you did play this against me once before, Nash Equilibrium. I remember like your bishop being on C4 in a past game now. It's kind of coming to me. Yeah, if I play knight E5, so if I play knight E5, I just encourage you to go where you wanted to go anyway, but encouraging F4 here. I'm going to go for your bishop. Your hair is the real struggle. You talking to me? My hair is the biggest struggle in the world, dude. You're touching a very sensitive place now. Hair comments get you instant banned. King H8. You better be talking about somebody else's hair. Now he plays F4. You see, I told you that F4 is the whole point here. Mr. Nash Equilibrium. Okay. We need to think about this a little bit. E5 is the problem now. He's kind of set up for E5. I might have take knight H5 though. If I have knight H5, I can maybe swipe the pawn on E5 with my queen. So, question is, do I have time for something like B5 here? Try bald. I can't do bald, man. I'm never gonna be bald. You definitely need the right shape face to be bald. Just doesn't work for everybody. Maurice Ashley looks strange bald. It really bothers me. Speaking of Atlantic City and speaking of Millionaire Chess, sadly, the guy who was going to be the main arbiter passed away. I was really shocked to hear that. At relatively young, 7 Meridians. So, if you guys heard about that, I just almost blundered this thing with. But wait a minute now. Can I do knight H5 here? Yeah. Knight H5, Queen F3, Queen takes E5. The thing is that he has knight C6 in between move. That's gonna just bust me up completely. So it looks okay. We can do knight D7 here. Bishop takes C6. Can I take on B3 first? Not really. Can't really take on B3 first. Nash Equilibrium doesn't work for just doesn't work for everyone. Knight H5, Queen F3, right guys? Queen takes E5, knight C6 is covered by my knight. Can I get away with this? I just realized I'm covering it with my knight. So knight H5, Queen F3, Queen takes E5, and wow. Let's go for it, man. Let's go for it. Jennifer Shahadi, that was improvised. Bobby Fischer 2. Why so silent, Bobby? The Ghost of Banquo. That was basically theory. No, Bishop G5, Bishop C4 isn't really theory. The way you played that last Sicilian. Guys, we have about 35 minutes left for the stream today. So we're going to get a few games in. And here against Nash Equilibrium, I'm walking the razor's edge basically here. Rookie 1, he wants to play lazy chess. with rook e1. Doesn't calculate, just develop. But the point is that I have bishop b7. So I don't really buy White's rook e1 move. Now his queen's hanging, and I don't think he has any vicious moves in this position. My bishop on b7 is kind of a monster piece. The problem was I hallucinate that I didn't have a knight on a5. So I almost didn't play this. Okay, queen h3. And what is White's threat in this position exactly? What is White's threat here? Having a hard time finding it. Does anybody see a threat? Bishop f2, is that a threat? Bishop f2? Not really, is it? So maybe I get rid of your bishop first. I don't like that guy. And my knight on a5 is pretty sketchy. Pretty sketchy anyway. So now, maybe bishop c5 is an interesting move for black. Maybe White has knight f5 ideas, but it would just probably trade pieces. And then the other move I could play is knight f6. I think that's pretty solid. Just make sure there's nothing tricky here, and we'll play it. So we got a little low on time, but we have increment, and I think Nash Equilibrium is going to have to come up with something pretty amazing. Sadistrol, are you talking to me? It does work for everyone. You just need to get used to the new look. You could be right. You know, you don't know till you've tried. I still think that Maurice looks very strange. I kind of liked him with hair before. He looks weird without hair. I just can't get past it. Okay. Now trading queens, obviously up a pawn with the two bishops, is a pretty good plan for me. Nash Equilibrium, he plays g5 now. I mean, yeah, ooh, Freudian slip. g5. This could get kind of dangerous. I like it. I like it. It's dangerous. I could have just played queen g6 maybe, but it felt a bit passive. Bishop c5 was another good move for me there. Maybe that's probably a better way to go without any risk whatsoever. Play bishop c5. His king is not happy on any diagonal here. Manners first. Welcome to the stream. Maurice should do what female black people do. I don't know, guys. I don't want to hear any kind of racist comments. So I like Maurice, but I just don't like his hair now. So, or lack thereof. He looks weird to me. I always knew him with hair. You know, it's disturbing when you knew someone, you know, and their look just changes dramatically. You know, it's like you lost touch with part of your past. What is up here? We are not going to let you avoid a trade of queens. No avoiding the trade of queens. Nash Equilibrium. I don't think that Maurice should have the Millionaire Chess Tournament in Atlantic City. I think that's lame. I don't understand. If he couldn't work out a deal at the former hotel in Vegas, why can't he find another place in Vegas? I mean, there's a million places to have the Millionaire Tournament in Vegas, and having it in Atlantic City is just really, really lame. Oh, good game, Nash Equilibrium. Okay. Let's talk about literature, not haircuts. I agree. Who started the hair thing anyway? Bruce the Spruce or something? Um, a movie has been confirmed for Stephen King's Dark Tower series. Dude, I like Stephen King, but I mean, how many of the Stephen King movies have been good? They're always like completely changed from the actual book. I mean, how many Stephen King movies have been faithful to the book? This always happens with horror writers. They just Hollywood or whoever just does whatever they want with the storyline. Okay, VFant Will Wolf. I've played you guys before. I want to play Smeagol and Honorary Citizen. Honorary Citizen's been waiting forever, haven't you? Honorary Citizen. I have advised you, Shalamov, but you didn't see my comment. Like, you sound so serious. How did you become International Master? I don't know. Well, to become an International Master, I had to make 3 norms where I performed around like 2550 FIDE, and maybe that's too high. 2500, I guess. And I have to have a rating over 2400. So this I call the math teacher variation. Can't remember my math teacher's name now in high school. So, not going to tell the same story again. Pretty boring. Math teacher ran the chess club at my high school. We were pretty advanced, though. There weren't really any other players. A friend of mine and I were basically like almost experts. We were expert strength in high school, and there were no other good players. So we didn't really go to the chess club too much. Yeah, we had some stuff about Dostoevsky. Were you good at math? See, we got. Are you trolling me? Were you good at math? I talked about this. Tactico. Everybody always asks that. It's the chess players' like classic question. Are you good at math? I guess for me it was like always embarrassing because I never really was especially good at math. I mean, I'm okay at math, but wasn't my favorite subject. And in college, it just buried me. I actually had to withdraw from. I think I withdrew from my only math class at Boston University. I was actually studying economics, and finally, it was just the math was driving me crazy. So I eventually gave up. I just don't enjoy, I don't enjoy math. Some people just really enjoy it, and I don't. If you can do 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals 2 times 2, you can play chess. I agree. Calculate 2 or 3 moves. For me, chess is more like, there's certain elements of math I like, like geometry and statistics, but theoretical math just never really interested me. But obviously, geometry, if we consider that math, then it's a huge part of chess. King h7. I feel like I'm playing the hippopotamus here. Love the hippopotamus, by the way. Guys, yesterday I want to do a video on this. I did another Kamsky game for my YouTube channel, but there was another game where Kamsky played in Gibraltar. Nice move, bishop a6. Trading off the bishop pair, by the way. Kamsky, check this out, guys. This is a good game. Kamsky versus Tishbiriak from Gibraltar. If you want to see an instructive game on beating the hippopotamus, Tishbiriak is a German grandmaster, and he played a kind of sort of hippopotamus type of modern against Kamsky. Kamsky just flat out lost the tempo in the opening. He did bishop c4, and then ended up putting it back on d3 2 moves later, and he still just crushed the guy. It was funny because one of my students was asking me well, I don't know, what should I do against the hippopotamus? I'm like, well, honestly, I don't know what to do against the hippopotamus. I play it myself, but I don't know what to do with white. And it's just so you make it up as you go along. I mean, nobody has a set formation they play against the hippopotamus. But maybe I should have taken on c3 there. I didn't really want to give up my dark squared bishop in this position. So with my kingside weaken hippo style, Anyway, check out the Kamsky Tishbiriak game on some chess, any chess online database. It's pretty nice. But Tishbiriak played badly. He, like my position, if I had my kind of structure, he didn't play h6. He just let Kamsky trade the dark squared bishop off, which was like just horrible for black. So, speaking of the hippopotamus, you guys are off in another world on the chat there. Totally not even paying attention to my game. Man, I just made a terrible move. Honorary citizen. Who are you in the chat there? Exotic dancer, right. It's exotic dancer, and it's not stewardess, it's flight attendant. Seriously. So, bishop e3. I missed the boat. I had knight d4 and I didn't play it because I'm just jabbering about all different kind of hippopotamus stuff. And now Honorary Citizen has a pretty good game, I would think. Very solid for white now. It's hard for me to put pressure on e4, which is what we want to do basically in this kind of structure. I think I'm fighting for equality. I can't play e6 without weakening the d6 square. No jokes about my hair. No jokes about Poker Stars shirts. It has my name on it. Just gonna cover it up. No longer a supernova. No longer affiliate myself with Poker Stars. But guys, like and support my my YouTube channel. Help me be a chess YouTuber. And it's video chess training on YouTube. It needs to go viral. We've been working on this for a month. We're going to do a lot of videos if we can. We're going to get better at it and just put the other YouTube chess videos out of business, basically. Knight c7. Did anybody watch the Ivanchuk video I was talking about yesterday from Gibraltar? That's great. I love watching Ivanchuk. God, what a genius he is. Grinch 11. Was he a professional poker player? Manners first. Yes, I was for 8 years, dude. Now that I quit online poker, I have to be a chess player again, and I want to be because chess is my love. You know, poker was just something I did, but I don't have a deep love for it the way that I love chess. And Queen d3 now. I need to play e6 here. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to play e6, but I'm afraid e6 drops a pawn at the moment. So, rook d8. Grow your crowd. You need more comic relief. I think we've got a few comedians here already. Too many. Unfortunately, like, chess is a fairly serious thing. Unfortunately. What am I doing here now? Honorary citizen. Knight d4. You're playing too well. That's a good move. I wonder about taking on d4. Taking on d4, taking on d5. Taking on d4 twice, and then taking on d5. I guess I'm going to have to simplify here. I don't know. White's slightly better with a pawn on d5, but he has some backwardness along the c-file, which should compensate. And he can't just flat out drop a pawn. Queen takes d4, knight takes d5, pawn takes d5. So the point is that he has to play like queen takes d5 here. And, you know, if he could play pawn takes and just keep the spatial bind in this position, I would be in trouble, probably. But if he has to trade queens, the rook ending's fine for black. I have to be careful about e7, but he has this maybe even more significant weakness on the c file. So black's totally okay. Jennifer, we haven't played like poker since I don't know when. I mean, I saw you in a Sunday Million. We were pretty deep, but you got knocked out there. That was when, like the end of 2014. You remember that tournament, Jennifer? I think I finished 45th in that Sunday Million, but you got knocked out around 200. You got in the money though. This one doesn't look right. You're dropping the key pawn on c2, and I don't really buy this. I don't really buy this for white, that you're just... Jennifer probably doesn't remember. The game looks like it might be a draw. Are you kidding me? My hippo is... They call me a Vizilo here in Hungary, which is water horse. And it means hippo. I am the hippo. Rook f3, though. I'm a little concerned about that, now that you mention it, guys. So, we're going to need to be on the ball here. Honorary citizen. You're going to make me have to do something to defend, I think. Yikes. What about trading pieces? Queen d7, kind of centralizing. Yeah, you got that green at least. After your big Tony bet win. Can't believe you won an Omaha, I mean a Chinese poker tournament. Chinese, open-faced Chinese. How did you do that? Jennifer, your big break in poker. You're so lucky. Rook on d to e1. I thought you were just a pretender, but then you took it down. The Tony bet open. Rook c7. Open-faced Chinese, but it's not poker in my opinion. It's just like another game. Does anybody know that? Open-faced Chinese poker? It's not really poker. It's something else. Queen d4 check. What's up here? Can I give a pawn back to get you to stop threatening me? Maybe. Mr. Honorary Citizen? Let's try something different. You're on my e7 again. Yo. Yo. We are going to have to give a pawn back, apparently. Honorary Citizen. Making my life very unpleasant here. 18-17. You are a tough 18-17, man. Making me work like a dog here. So, structurally, it looks good. Kind of forced weight on the defensive a little bit. Queen h4. Okay. Alright, I have to really concentrate here. There, that move. What am I doing? I'm trying to grab my pawn and move it laterally? Seriously? Wow, I so much for trying to pre-move against you, Honorary Citizen. Just can't be done, I don't think. White resigns. Wow. Tough game, man. I feel like you just took all the energy out of me. Have you ever participated in any main events? Just in Copenhagen once. I I got knocked out in the money by Michael Turiniak. It was a really bad play. I finished like 29th in a Copenhagen main event, but it was just a crazy thing that I did. The funny thing about that story was Turaniak had won the tournament the year before, and we were down to like, I don't know, five tables or something, and he had 1,000,000 chips, and I just thought he was kind of trying to push me out of a hand, so I got all in with a pretty weak hand and lost. But the funny thing was he had this pile of chips. He was definitely one of the top 3 chip leaders, and I was feeling so bad that I got knocked out. And Mickey Peterson ended up winning the tournament when he was down to like, he literally had like 7 big blinds left or something. Maybe even less. I don't remember. He was at my table, and he had like nothing left. He ended up winning the tournament. But the funny part was that Tureniak, after taking all my chips, I'm like down at the cage in the casino, like getting my measly like 12,000 euros or whatever. And 5 minutes later, while I'm in line to get my money, like Tureniak is there, getting knocked out by getting knocked out of the tournament. It was so weird. By this old Belgian guy. I forget his name. He's famous now. There's this old Belgian dude who's winning all kinds of EPT tournaments. I'm sure you guys who are poker fans have heard of him. Have I ever played against him? No, I don't play that much Manners First. And I never really played in the US, just EPT tournaments. So, but I know people who have played against Phil Hellmuth. I have a friend here, Paul Ladani, who we play in my home game with, and he has stories about Hellmuth. He used to play with Hellmuth in various tournaments in the 90s, like in LA and in Vegas. So I just know secondhand stories about Hellmuth. But it doesn't seem like the kind of person many people would like. But he is fairly respected as, you know, a knowledgeable pro. Like he's not like, he's a real player. He's a really good player. Queen d2 here. Could I delay playing Bishop h6, Smeagol? Again, I'm going to end up in a dragon that I don't play, but this is a classical dragon. I played Bishop d7 very early here, and I'm regretting that. I'd rather play like classical lines where I play Bishop e6. So, and now Bishop on e2, not the most useful move. If you castle queenside, I lost yesterday to Vfant in a dragon where the bishop is on f1, you know, in the main line dragon. But this is different. White has wasted a move on the move Bishop e2, so he really can't benefit. It connects his rooks, but it's pretty much considered a kind of loss of time in these kind of positions. Yeah, so anyway, poker-wise, I just play live in some European tournaments, but not too much. I rarely play, just mostly internet. And now I'm kind of quitting that, so we're focusing on chess. I like poker, but it's just, it's really hard to play online poker without a really big bankroll. If anybody wants to loan me like $50,000, I might think about like still trying to play on PokerStars, but I'm not going to waste my time playing like low stake tournaments and stuff anymore. It's just, there are better things to do in life. Yeah, G4, this is like the game with Vfant yesterday. He played the same way, and I wasn't happy with the position I got. I guess B5 can be played as a kind of pawn sack here. Let's try it. I can't imagine that taking this pawn can really be healthy for white. Guys, this is just, I don't know the theory here. There isn't really any theory with the bishop on e2, but I would imagine that taking this pawn is very dangerous. Will Wolf, you loan me $50,000? Really? In change. I'll take it in change. If you have it in pennies, I can have it converted. El Columbia said poker is bullshit. Use your brain for real business. Yeah, I mean, it's just too late for me to start like in the business world. It's either chess or poker at this point. B5. Knight takes b5. A lot of chess players have gone into different kind of business though. A lot of strong chess players. We could sack pieces on e4, g4 pawn chain. But basically, El Columbio, you're right. Yeah, we should solve the world's problem instead of the world's problems instead of playing poker, I guess. I don't know. Queen b8's interesting. Maybe try to set up some long-term threats along the b file. I have a huge influence in my play. My friend Salanci Emil is a international master from Hungary. He's kind of old school, but he's a fantastic dragon player, and there's a whole school of players here. Tibor Tolna, he's also a poker player. A whole school of Hungarian chess players who have battled with the dragon. I would definitely consider at some point playing knight c4. But these open lines look like compensation. Very good compensation for black. Very good attacking chances. So I'm not feeling like it was in vain the sacrifice of the b pawn here. I would really loan you $50,000 if I was a millionaire. I appreciate the offer, man. I think you need at least $50,000 to play on PokerStars. In all honesty, if you want to do it seriously, my bankroll just isn't big enough. So I just don't have that much free cash. I think if you play, you should play high stakes, pay a lot of rake. And maybe they'll reward you. Maybe they'll reward you at PokerStars. If you play if you're paying your share of rake, you have a chance. A5. This is a very strong position for black now. I mean, Smeagol took his pawn and he's like, oh, now what do I do? Yeah, I don't recommend bishop e2 and castling queenside. What do you think, VFant? VFant beat me in that dragon yesterday. He played like the main line without bishop c4. And I thought, well, you've got to follow up with h4, h5. I mean, it's the only plan. You're never going to be a millionaire using if clauses. If clauses. I like you, El Cambio. I like your philosophy about life. Good point. So we got everybody in the action here, and this is looking like a good dragon. A3 would kind of close it up. I'm a little bit reticent to do that, to close it up completely. We might have some nasty tactics here, but and then things like queen b4. Unfortunately, he's got a3, so queen b7 might be kind of a safe way to play the position. Bishop e2, not a great spot. No, white's not really set up for a great attack here. I'm afraid the queen b7 might be a little slow, but I am kind of putting a little bit more pressure on e4 and hopefully, getting on b2. But I wouldn't be surprised if there's already some tactics in the position. White's playing with a bad knight on a1. I mean, that takes a piece off the field of... I mean, I might have just knight c6 here. Maybe I should have played that last move. Knight c6 with the idea of knight b4 in some positions could be very strong. And now I feel like I kind of let white off the hook a bit. Let's play rook b8. We will possibly win on time, but I really hope not, because I want to see this game, you know, it's kind of tense. I like to reach a more natural conclusion. Yeah, you could argue the bishop on e2 sort of gets in the way of things. I wasn't in any hurry to play knight c4, that's for sure, in this type of position. But we don't seem to have anything special yet. This wins a pawn, though. If he takes on d5, this probably is just a simple solution. Nothing fancy for black. I just take, and a2 is hanging. So Smeagol. I'm not an expert in the dragon, but I know that generally castling queenside and bishop e2 isn't really dangerous for black. Now what? What about this b2 square? Nothing there. I have bishop e6. Bishop e6 looks solid. Bishop tandem. Okay, we're opening it up. Maybe we switch to the A file if we have time. Not giving me the A file. But we have other threats. We have other threats that look kind of nasty. Bishop f5 check. Not good. Yeah, this is over. Knight d3 check. Queen takes. And it's going to be mate soon. So, thank you for the game, Smeagol. Guys, we have time for one more game. One more game. VFan, Willwolf, El Columbio. Let's play El Columbio, guys. We played VFan and Willwolf already. We're going to play one game with El Columbio. He's new to the channel. Let's give him a chance. He's got good philosophies to share. Positive attitude. And welcome to the channel, man. Can we have a go? Something that might make it worth your while. Maybe if I'm in a good mood, maybe I'll play one more game. I don't have anything to do. Well, if you promise to give me the $50,000 loan, then I'll play you one more game. El Columbio played knight c3, and this shows a creative attitude already. I like it. Okay. El Columbio, are you from Colombia? No, you're speaking Dutch. Deutsch. El Columbio is Colombian from Germany. So he's a German-speaking Colombian, of which there probably are a few. Knight f6. Bishop c4, tricky. You want to play like a Budapest Gambit reversed. The Mises opening, like Jacques Mises. He's basically playing a kind of Black Mardemer, for lack of a better name. What else is it? Why not? You know, I don't want to play the Black Mardemer. All right, let's play the Black Mardemer. The last time I did this, I got to a point where I didn't know what to do anymore. Speaking of Mises, the Latvian Grandmaster Mises taught me to play the system with black. It's very funny. So, Mises versus Mises. He's a creative player, Mises. English opening plays very well. Now, Bishop g5, can't remember what the other guy did. I think he played h3. So Bishop g5 lets me trade off this kind of key attacking piece with Bishop g4. And that's kind of this sort of concept behind this. It also puts pressure on d4, obviously, but this is the concept behind the Mises defense to the Mises gambit. I remember I played poker for 1 year and built up a bankroll of $25,000. Well, if you started with 0, that's a pretty good profit, man. Knight e2, c5. Let's get it in, right? Let's get it in, the c5. This is the key freeing move. It's a good Grunfeld for me now. Do I want to take his knight on f3 though? No, not yet. So we need to break it up before this white attack gets serious. And this Grunfeld type of idea, really key. So if you guys... I had a book on anti-King's Indians or something 15 years ago by like Joe Gallagher or Stefan Pedersen. I don't know who it was. But anyway, there was like a chapter on the... There was a chapter on playing black, a very like small chapter on playing black against the Black Mardemer. And I remember the author suggested like playing this very passive system with the e6, you know. To me, that doesn't seem like a good recommendation. I mean, I guess it's sound, but you know, most people want something a little more aggressive to play against the Black Mardemer than e6. And so I recommend that you try this setup with g6. D takes c5. We destroyed the center. We set out what we, you know, aim to do here. And now it's just a question of which way do we do this. Queen c7 is a solid move, though it doesn't really develop anything. We could play knight c6. I'm a little worried about rounding my pawn up, to be honest. Here, we could play knight d7, but b4. b4 is going to be a problem, right? If queen c7, b4, I could play maybe b6. Looks a little sketchy. So I think he's going to put me to the test. Let's try queen c7. Chess player 3. Building the bankroll in the No Limit 100. Yeah, I never played cash too much. Maybe for a few months, but online. Cash for me was always kind of monotonous and it's not fun, you know. So queen c7. Okay, now the question is, I guess we have to ask ourselves, what about knight e4? I mean, my plan was to try to do this, and I guess we're going to follow through. It's a double attack on the bishop on g5 and the rook on a1. And we may have to hunker down and be brave, but I missed bishop f4, unfortunately. That's a major problem, missing bishop f4. So things are not looking so good for me. Didn't see this move, and now we might be worse here. I guess I have to play e5. I didn't really intend on this happening. The position is really weird now. His bishop on c4 is pretty dangerous, and okay, material is equal. I gave up a pawn. We've got to watch out for bishop d5, but I can pin it, and I'm also on the b4 pawn. So our development is pretty good, but we're not up a pawn anymore, and the position is pretty irrational. So anything, got to be careful we don't make a kind of blunder. It's a pretty weird position. Pawn on b4. My mouse is not cooperating here. Anyway, everyone, this is going to be our last game today. Maybe I'll play one more with Will Wolf, but you made me feel guilty, Will Wolf. We're going to close down the stream soon. El Columbio playing pretty tough. I'm not really liking my position a whole lot here. Definitely not liking this diagonal where your bishop and queen are located. And this is a pretty random position. It looks like some c3 Sicilian. And I feel like I let white get away with way too much here. It wasn't fun, yeah. It wasn't fun, Chess Player 3. Grinding cash for money online is not fun. Bishop takes f3, and that's fine. That's fine. Our structure is pretty good. We can play f5, and f7 is not hanging anymore. I'm starting to like this. We have some coordination. His f-file play is like non-existent. He's got a weak point at d2. The c3 is even like a target. He doesn't have b5 because it looks like it would weaken his pawns. Knight a5. We've got the d file, so everything's looking suddenly pretty good, pretty rosy for black here, despite the bishop pair for white. Just followed, but got to shoot off to go to uni. So, okay, Tantrix Tan, thanks for joining anyway. Thanks for joining the channel. Check it out next time. What happened? A4. I guess he wants to play like A4, A5. Sorry for all the arrows, guys. Arrows are getting a little out of control here. I think we've got time. You know, I want to get the center rolling. I want to like get in E4. I've got a protected pass pawn on the E file. And we've got the D file. We got a rook on the 7th. So after kind of a scary opening, it looks like Columbio, his position is kind of tough to play. Although the material is equal, a little harder for him to coordinate. This pawn chain of blacks is really tough for white to deal with. Taking squares away from his pieces. Also the long diagonal is really powerful for me. So I could play a6 now. I mean, that's the solid answer, I guess. To stop a6. a6 is really... If white plays a6, I feel he's got real chances of crushing me on the queen side with a 4-on-2 majority. So we want to keep that pawn majority under control, basically. And opposite-colored bishops favor the attacking side. This position is no exception. It looks like his king is more vulnerable than mine here. So my bishop is gonna be pretty vicious on e5, and we've got attacking chances this way. It's looking this way. Black is totally dominating here. And now maybe queen g5, tactical threats, and the black king is safe. Chess Verslat laughed. It is smart to be premium on chess. Is it smart to be premium on Chessbase? Good question. If I was working for Chessbase, I guess I would say yes. But honestly, I don't know. I haven't played on Play Chess in a while, although I'm open to it. Maybe if you have the money, it probably isn't a bad idea if you have the money to spend. I guess there's extra features and stuff. It's probably not a bad investment. Chessbase is one of the better chess sites in the world. Shevaningen, hello. You're always late, man. If you hold shift or any other key, you get other colors for arrows. Do I? I get other colors? Any key? Well, anyway, I'm going to flag, so I can't worry about it now. Rook d1, that's kind of a bummer. Yeah, that's a timely move. He's sort of hanging in there, El Columbio. And I didn't see anything for me. Just right there. We're real close to a breakthrough. Bishop e6 now. E3. How are you going to get in at me? Oh, you want to play that? I see. E3, Queen D5, Bishop G3. If Queen D5, what happens? Bishop takes C3, right? Pick off a pawn. Now, you have no checks, and I have this move. What does this actually do? Threaten mate? Yeah. Oh, now I'm gonna like get in desperate time pressure. What is going on here? Oh, I have a plan. What's that? El Columbio, I feel that you played a very tough game, and you deserve a big welcome to the stream. A challenging game. Okay, guys, last game, VFan. I'm sorry I can't play everybody and Scheveningen. Promise, Will Wolf. VFant, we'll play you next time. Scheveningen just has to come earlier. I was looking for you in the evening yesterday, Scheveningen. I was on a little bit. Not too long, though. Scheveningen, you're welcome to challenge me to game. If you see me when we're not streaming, it's my pleasure. It's welcome actually for all you guys. If you see me online when I'm not streaming, if I have time, I'll play you like an offhand game, definitely. To me, cash is much more fun, unless you're very deep in a tourney. Well, tournaments can be frustrating in poker. I mean, there's no question about that. You know, it's not fun like going to a EPT and like not cashing in like a single tournament out of 10 or something. Here I'm sacking a pawn. This might be a little bit over the top, but nevertheless, it's interesting. I don't know about this one. I could continue to sack the pawn. I'm going to play queen back to d1. VFant, I'll be glad to play next time. Thank you, VFant. I just have to go, and GM Will Wolf was begging violently for this game. Next time, VFant, I'd love to play another game. Bishop g4, Bishop e3. So I'm scared of you, VFant. You have a good score. Will Wolf, I'm just ducking you, VFant. I can't do that. I have to play d5. Mouse slipping. So anyway, thanks for the stream, guys. Thanks for, well, I'm streaming. You're doing the viewing. Thanks for being here with me and making it possible. It's fun for me, and I think instructive for everyone. El Columbio, thanks for the game. Great experience. I thought you played well. It became a kind of random sort of time fest there at the end. But interesting game, Columbio. I thought pretty cool. And I'm still not sure what the best line is against the Blackmar Deemer. Anyway, everyone, thanks for joining me. See you tomorrow. We're going to finish this game up with GM Will Wolf. Check out my YouTube channel, Video Chess Training on YouTube. If you have any questions or you're interested in taking chess lessons or any kind of chess project, send me an email at videochesstrainer, all one word, at gmail.com. So I'm open to any kind of chess offers. Play for your team in Europe or whatever, you know, interesting ideas you have. Let me know. Queen d6, Queen b4. Interesting idea, Will Wolf. Not uncommon Grunfeld concept, you know, to maybe like put the queen on b4. Here I could play bishop d4 and trade off your Grunfeld bishop, which feels a little bit lame. I don't know why. So we'll go for the standard like central expansion. Somehow queen b4, it looks a little artificial for black. E5 now. Not an easy decision, actually. I mean, all these captures are possible. I don't really like trading and giving up my d5 pawn. I don't really like taking and giving him play with the bishop. So f5 is kind of process of elimination. POE. Try colors. Oh. See you tonight. See you tonight. Are we playing together in the same on? Oh yeah, I forgot. I quit playing on Stars. Oh, okay. I know what you mean, Jennifer. I'll see you tonight. Thanks for joining us, though. I love when you share your time with us, Jen. What is up with this C6 classic break? Man, I wish there was a way to punish black here. We do have a tricky move. Queen f2. Kind of double threat. We have f6. Maybe we hack this guy off in some positions to get a good knight on d5. And we might just win the exchange with bishop c5. So I have to try the shift thing to change colors. We can do magic colors and stuff. That's cool. So how many colors do we get? We got all the primary colors or just 2? Okay, just 2. Have to experiment with the colors a little bit more. And I have to do a lot of things, guys. I've been doing this for a little over a month now, and I'm starting to get the hang of it. But Will Wolf, I thought you got a draw against me last time. Why are there all zeros at the bottom here? Because it was an unrated game, I guess. I guess just the rated games count in the record. But I don't know what Lichess does when you have like 300 games with someone. Does it show like boxes and boxes of boxes? Like it just takes up the whole bottom of the screen or something? What happens when your lifetime record is like 500 games long? Anyway, it was my pleasure today, guys. My time is running. I didn't even realize. So what do we want to do here? F6? Yeah, F6 first. First things first. Coffinize. Put it in the sarcophagus there. He could take an F6, but tactically losing to bishop C5, I think. So now the question is, do we want to take on, do we want to take the guy there on B6 and play with good knight in a probably strategic 1 position? He could take with the A pawn, and my A pawn is hanging. We win the exchange. Are we greedy and we win the exchange here? Let's be greedy and win the exchange. Although, guys, I mean, bishop takes b6 is totally winning for white strategically. As is this. Yeah, he's basically like down a rook here. Effectively. So, thanks everybody. Both rated and unrated. All games are shown, VFAT. Then I would swear Wolf got a draw yesterday. He was raving about it. And it's not on the list. That's so weird. Was it Will? Was it someone else, not Will Wolf? I could have sworn it was Will Wolf. Maybe it was someone else who got a draw against me yesterday. I guess it wasn't Will Wolf. It was somebody else who I thought somehow was Will Wolf. You guys remember who that was? I could have sworn it was Will Wolf who made a draw yesterday. Right around the same time that VFAT beat me. Maybe it was before the loss to VFAT. I can't remember. But it's demoralizing when you lose all your games and you see the other guys beating you down 10-1. I don't know about that feature. I think it's hard for the guy with the bad score to break out of the funk if you see that constantly. The guy's, oh man, the guy's beating me 10-1. It's pretty hard psychologically. Rook e7, and the back rank is yeah, it's a huge problem. So I also don't really want to get back rank mated. The only way I could basically lose this position would to get, you know, to let Will Wolf back rank mate me. He's playing without a piece, so I'm gonna try to play e5 if I can here in e6 and lever open his king side at the very least. And next time VFant, we'll try to get an extra game for you. If you get on the stream again tomorrow or someday this week, we'll give you at least an extra game. I'm already a little bit behind schedule, so I really got to run. And it only shows the last 20 games. Okay, that's interesting. All games count on the record. Skeveningen said it just shows the last 20. I was going to say it has to get a little out of control if it shows all 500. Now what about e6? Do I have any tricks? e6. Yes, we have e6. It looks like we have e6. No draws. e6, pawn takes, rook takes, pawn takes, queen takes e6, rook e1. That's pretty nasty. That looks pretty nasty. The old rook e1 at the end is going to be a bit unpleasant for black. So basically, yeah, the only defense is rook takes rook, pawn takes rook, and then queen takes e6. But I have rook e1, and we're threatening. Nasty stuff. Okay, f5. Nice try, Will Wolf. Didn't see that. Somehow makes a lot of sense, though. Should have seen that. With these very, very strong passed pawns, however, he's threatening queen c5, check and take. Very crafty defense, by the way. How am I going to do this? Try king h1. I don't like all these threats of queen c5 check, bishop d4, what have you. You know, they're all involving my king running into troubles. Now bishop f6. And what am I doing here now? Queen takes b6. This got a little closer than I would have liked it to be. Alright. I'm trading queens. I've had enough. Had enough of your shenanigans, Will Wolf. We're transposing to technical territory. Will Wolf will not win this one. Okay, dude. I can handle it. We've got increment. Even without increment, I'm old, but I can take it out in 30 seconds. Playing for stalemate, Will Wolf. Really got to go, dude. So, it's not really necessary. Okay, guys, thanks for the games. We'll see you later, and good stream today. Rook d1 instead of king h1 didn't work. Yes, it possibly did. Rook d1, I did get a draw on a different account. A different account? You have multiple accounts. Alright, guys. Thanks for the stream. We'll see you later, and goodbye.